Whaling in Japan is a long-standing part of its history and culture, closely tied to the lives of coastal people. However, it is also a subject of great controversy internationally. Here is an overview of the industry. Ancient period, the Japanese began to exploit whales around the 12th century, mainly relying on rudimentary techniques such as harpoons from small boats. Edo period, 1603 to 1868, whaling became more professionally organized with the emergence of gumi whaling organizations. Coastal communities such as Taiji became the center of this activity. 20th century, Japan modernized its whaling industry with the help of Western technology, which increased its productivity. Food. Whale meat was an important food source, especially after World War II when Japan faced food shortages. Comprehensive use, not only meat. Other parts of whales such as oil, bones and whale whiskers are also used as fuel, fertilizer and industrial raw materials. International ban. In 1986, the International Whaling Commission, IWC, issued a ban on commercial whaling to protect endangered whale species. Japan withdrew from the IWC in 2019 to continue whaling in its own waters. Exploitation for scientific research. From 1987 to 2019, Japan claimed that whaling was for scientific research, but the fact that whale meat was sold on the domestic market made many people doubt this motive. International criticism. Many countries and animal protection organizations criticized the whaling industry, considering it unethical and unsustainable. Japan currently hunts whales only in its own waters and limits the number of whales it can hunt each year. The industry is shrinking due to a decline in domestic demand for whale meat and a growing environmental awareness among young people. Despite its controversy, whaling is still seen by some Japanese communities as an integral part of local traditions and identity. Whale-related festivals, rituals and dishes still exist in some areas, especially in Taiji. Thus, whaling in Japan is a complex story, combining cultural traditions with international pressures, reflecting the conflict between conservation and development. The way Japanese people hunt whales has undergone many changes over time, from traditional artisanal methods to modern technology. Here are details of Japanese whaling practices over time. The Japanese used small boats, harpoons, and large nets to hunt whales. Whales were usually caught in the waters near the shore, where they migrated. Fishermen worked in groups, gumi, to deploy nets and harpoons from multiple boats, forming a coordinated strategy. Taiji. This is a traditional whaling center, famous for its ancient techniques and whale-related festivals. After acquiring technology from the West, Japan began using large ships, equipped with harpoon cannons with explosive charges, to quickly bring down whales. These ships were able to travel farther and fish in areas far from shore, including Antarctica. Whale factory ships. Large ships that functioned as floating factories, processing and packaging whales right at sea. This helps maximize production and preserve whale meat for longer. After the International Whaling Commission, IWC, banned commercial whaling in 1986, Japan declared that whaling was for scientific research. Whales are hunted mainly in the Southern Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. The research process includes determining the whale's age, sex, health status and diet. After collecting data, the whale meat is sold on the domestic market. Since 2019, Japan has withdrawn from the IWC and only hunts whales in its sovereign waters. Regulations are in place to limit the catch, ensuring that the whale population is not depleted. Limited numbers. For example, in 2023, Japan will allow the capture of about 120 minke whales and 25 sei whales in its waters, using modern technology, still maintaining whale hunting and processing ships but operating on a smaller scale. Drive hunt technique. This is the traditional method in Taiji, using boats to drive whales or dolphins into a narrow bay. Then fishermen capture or kill each whale. This method is mainly applied to small whales and dolphins, not large whales. Assessing the method of exploitation. Although well organized, Japan's whaling methods are controversial. Internationally, the use of modern technology to hunt large numbers is considered unnecessary, threatening the conservation of the species. Japan argues that its methods are controlled and based on science, while preserving cultural traditions. Today, Japan's whaling industry is gradually shrinking, with strict regulations in place to minimize environmental impacts and deal with international criticism. The Japanese way of butchering whales is a complex process, meticulously carried out to make the most of the animal's parts. The process has been developed over centuries and now combines both traditional methods and modern technology. After hunting, the whales are hauled to shore or onto beaches. Fishermen use large knives and axes to cut the whales into pieces. Often the whole community participates, and the butchering is held as a festive ritual. Meat, fat, bones and organs are all shared among members of the hunting party and the community. Sorting parts. Meat. The red meat and fat are separated for processing into food. Blubber, melted to extract oil for fuel or to make soap. Whale bones and whiskers, used for tools, household items or fertilizer. As the whaling industry developed on an industrial scale, the butchering process also became more mechanized and organized. On the whale factory ship, the whale is pulled onto the deck via a ramp. Workers use chainsaws, large knives and specialized equipment to butcher the whale. Basic steps. Cutting the skin and blubber. The thick outer layer of fat is peeled off first for separate processing. Separating the meat. The red meat is cut from the whale's body. Classified into different parts: back, belly, tail, bone and viscera separation. Bones are cleaned and preserved. Viscera are separated for processing or scientific analysis. Waste disposal. The remainder is used as fertilizer or animal feed. In land-based processing facilities, whales are transported to processing plants near seaports. The butchering process is similar to that on ships but is organized on a larger scale. The Japanese are famous for utilizing the whole whale. Each part of the whale has a specific use. Red meat, used as food, popular in dishes such as sashimi, steak or stew. Whale fat, used to cook oil or process industrial products. Bones, grinded into fertilizer or animal feed. Viscera, some parts are processed for food or medical research. Whale butchering festival. In some places like Taiji, the whale butchering process is still a ritual, with prayers and thanksgiving to the whales for providing a valuable food source. Keeping the tradition alive, manual butchering techniques are still passed down in some fishing communities. Combined with educational sessions for the younger generation, the whale butchering process, especially on processing ships, has been criticized by many animal welfare organizations for its industrialized and large-scale nature, leading to concerns about the ethics and conservation of the species. However, Japan argues that the butchering is done scientifically and respectfully to the whales, in order to make the most of the resource. The Japanese whale butchering process is not just about exploitation, but also reflects their centuries-old tradition, culture and approach to marine resources. The whale butchering process is not simply about separating the body parts, but also categorizing them according to different uses. Each part has its own value. Red meat. Characteristics. This is the main muscle of the whale, rich in protein and has a deep red color. Uses. Making sashimi or tataki, lightly grilled whale meat. Processed into dishes such as braised, grilled, or stewed meat. Some meat parts are canned or frozen for export. Fat, blubber. Characteristics. The thick layer of fat under the whale's skin is white or light yellow. Uses. Smelted to extract oil used in the production of soap, cosmetics or as fuel. Some types of fat are used as ingredients for traditional dishes. Whale tongue. Characteristics. This part is soft and has a rich flavor. Considered high class. Uses. Often processed into high-class dishes in traditional Japanese restaurants. Whale bone. Characteristics. Whale bones are very hard and large in size. Uses. Grind into powder to make organic fertilizer. In the past, Bones were used as tools or household items. Viscera. Characteristics includes the liver, heart, stomach and intestines of whales. The liver and heart are often processed into nutritious dishes. The stomach and intestines are sometimes used as food or industrial raw materials. The Japanese have a traditional philosophy called mottainai, roughly translated, no waste. This is clearly demonstrated in whale exploitation. Comprehensive utilization, from meat, fat, bones to organs. No part is wasted. Closed process, all steps from hunting, butchering to processing are carried out in an optimized system, ensuring that losses are minimized. In today's era, technology has been integrated into the butchering process to increase productivity and reduce time. Industrial saws and knives, used to process large bones and quickly cut meat parts. Fast cooling system, ensures that whale meat is preserved fresh immediately after butchering. Automated process, some processing plants supply automatic systems to classify and package meat. Whale meat used to be a popular food source after World War II. But today, consumption demand has decreased sharply. Causes, changing tastes of the younger generation and pressure from animal protection movements. High-end segment. Whale meat is now mainly sold at traditional restaurants or special events, rather than as an everyday food. Many animal protection organizations consider whale exploitation and butchering to be unethical and unnecessary in the modern era. Japan's argument. They emphasize that the process is carried out scientifically and in a controlled manner, without causing serious harm to the whale population. Whales are not only a food source but also a cultural and traditional symbol of coastal people. Thus, the process of butchering whales in Japan is not only an economic activity but also reflects the intersection of culture, science and global debates on ethics and conservation of nature. Whale meat is part of traditional Japanese culinary culture, processed into many different dishes depending on the region and cooking style. Here are some common ways that Japanese people prepare whale meat. Whale sashimi. The bright red meat is thinly sliced and eaten raw with soy sauce, wasabi, and ginger. This is the most common way of preparing it, especially in coastal areas like Taiji. Tataki. The whale meat is grilled or lightly seared on the outside, leaving the inside rare. It is then sliced and served with green onions, soy sauce, or ponzu vinegar. Whale steak. The whale meat is cut into large pieces, seasoned with spices such as garlic, soy sauce, or pepper, and grilled or pan-fried until cooked. Grilled whale meat has a rich flavor and firm texture and is served with vegetables or white rice. Whale yakitori. A variation where whale meat is skewered and grilled over charcoal, similar to the way chicken is grilled. Whale karage. Whale meat is sliced into bite-sized pieces, marinated with soy sauce, garlic, and ginger, then rolled in flour and fried. This dish is often served as a snack, served with beer. Traditional whale stew, nemono. Whale meat, especially the tendons or fat, is stewed in soy sauce, sake, sugar, and ginger. This dish creates a rich flavor, with soft, melt-in-your-mouth meat. Whale odon. Whale fat or meat is chopped into small pieces and added to an odon hot pot along with radish, eggs, and fish cakes. Whale miso soup. Sliced whale meat is cooked with miso soup, vegetables such as green onions, radish, and seaweed. This dish is often eaten in winter to keep the body warm. Whale hot pot, nabemono. Whale meat and vegetables are cooked in a hot pot with dashi or soy sauce, creating a nutritious dish. Whale rice. Whale meat is shredded, cooked with rice and seasonings such as sake, soy sauce, and ginger. This is a popular dish in traditional family meals. Canned whale meat. Whale is prepared, usually stewed or stir-fried, and canned for sale in supermarkets. Whale burger. Some modern restaurants create whale burgers, combining traditional flavors with Western dining styles. Whale bacon. Whale bacon and fat are cured and smoked, thinly sliced to be eaten as an appetizer. Dried whale. Whale meat is dried or dried, often used as a snack or as an alcoholic beverage. Whale curry. Whale meat is cooked in Japanese-style curry sauce, served with rice. Whale meatballs. The meat is ground, seasoned, and made into small balls to be fried or made into soup. Today, whale meat is not as popular as it used to be, but it still appears in some traditional restaurants or as a special dish. The Japanese are creating new ways to prepare it to appeal to the younger generation, while still maintaining the traditional taste. Whale meat preparation is often accompanied by rituals of reverence for this animal, especially in coastal communities. Preserving the natural flavor. The preparation method is usually not too elaborate, focusing on preserving the original flavor of whale meat. Whale meat is not only a food but also reflects the culture and lifestyle of the Japanese people over the centuries. Differences in regional preparation in Japan. Different regions in Japan have unique ways of preparing whale meat, reflecting local characteristics and indigenous culinary culture. Taiji Region, Wakayama Prefecture. This is the center of traditional whale exploitation and processing in Japan. Special dishes. Kushiyaki, grilled whale skewers. Whale meat is skewered and grilled over charcoal, served with sweet miso sauce. Boiled whale. Whale meat and fat are boiled, eaten with a special dipping sauce made from shoyu. Nagasaki Region. Nagasaki has a history of trading with the West, so the way whale is prepared here is influenced by European cuisine. Specialties. Western-style whale stew, cooked with wine, tomatoes and spices to create a rich flavor. Whale curry, a popular dish in families. Hokkaido Region. With a cold climate, Hokkaido focuses on dishes that help keep you warm. Specialties. Whale hot pot, ishikari nabe, whale meat. Vegetables and tofu are cooked in hot miso broth. Dried whale, dried for long-term preservation and eaten as an appetizer. Kansai Region, Osaka, Kyoto. Kansai is famous for its sophisticated and diverse cooking style. Specialties. Whale sashimi, fresh whale meat is thinly sliced, served as a high-class dish in restaurants. Sweet whale stew, uses a lot of sugar and mirin to create a slightly sweet flavor. After World War II, whale meat became a staple food in Japan due to a shortage of other proteins. This led to the popularity of simple and practical recipes. Whale fried rice, use shredded whale meat, fried with rice, green onions, and eggs. Whale soup, whale meat stewed with daikon, soy sauce, and ginger, creating a nutritious dish. With whale meat no longer a popular food, Japanese chefs have found ways to incorporate this ingredient into modern dishes to attract younger customers. Whale pizza, thinly sliced whale meat is topped with cheese and vegetables. Whale pasta, Japanese-style whale meat sauce served with spaghetti. Whale sushi, raw whale meat placed on sushi rice balls, garnished with seaweed or green onions. Whale Thanksgiving, in many coastal fishing villages, whale processing is often held as a community event. Before processing, people perform rituals to thank whales for providing food. Enjoy with family, whale dishes often appear in traditional festivals, meaning family reunions. 16. Health factors in whale meat processing. Rich in protein, whale meat is a rich source of protein. Reduce fat, dishes such as sashimi or tataki often retain their natural flavor, without adding oil. Focus on balance, in stews or hot pots. Vegetables are combined with whale meat to increase nutritional value. Although not as popular as before, whale meat is still an ingredient in some traditional dishes or local specialties. Whale hamburger, a modern variation at fast food restaurants. Whale ramen, ramen noodles with broth made from whale fat and bones, creating a rich, fatty flavor. Grilled whale skewers, sold at summer festivals as a street food. Whale meat in Japanese cuisine is not just a food but also has deep cultural significance. Diverse ways of preparation, from traditional to modern, have helped maintain the presence of whale meat in culinary life, despite changing trends and international pressures. Each dish reflects not only sophisticated cooking techniques but also the connection between humans and nature in Japanese culture.